Welcome! Today we'll be talking about the law of demand and why changes in price can impact what we buy. Have you ever noticed that when the price of something goes up, you tend to buy less of it? And when the price goes down, you tend to buy more. This is what we call the law of demand, and it's an important concept in economics. The law of demand states that there is an inverse relationship between the price of a good or service and the quantity demanded by consumers. In other words, as the price of a good or service increases, the quantity demanded by consumers will decrease. Conversely, as the price of a good or service decreases, the quantity demanded by consumers will increase. There are several factors that can affect the demand for a good or service, including income, consumer tastes and preferences, and the availability of substitutes. But today we'll focus on how changes in price can affect consumer behavior. Let's say you're in the market for a new pair of shoes, and you found a pair you really like for $50. You decide that you're willing to pay $50 for the shoes, and you buy them. But what if the price of the shoes goes up to $75? You might decide that the shoes aren't worth that much money, and you'll look for a cheaper alternative instead. This is an example of how an increase in price can lead to a decrease in demand. On the other hand, what if the price of the shoes goes down to $25? You might decide that the shoes are a great deal at that price, and you'll buy them even if you don't really need them. This is an example of how a decrease in price can lead to an increase in demand. It's important to note that the law of demand doesn't apply to all goods and services. There are some goods, like luxury items, for which demand actually increases as the price goes up. But for most goods and services, the law of demand holds true. In conclusion, the law of demand is a fundamental concept in economics that explains the inverse relationship between price and quantity demanded. Understanding this concept can help us make better decisions as consumers, and it's an important tool for businesses and policymakers as well.